Hello, this is Fear Dragon coming at you with another StarCraft 2 netcast. Today we have the finals of the Late Night Quickie number 2. Let's go ahead and introduce the players that have made it all the way up to this point in time. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner of Atlantis Spaceship, we have the green Protoss player. He's made it through. He's fought through thick and through thin. Can he take this final series? His name is Bennay. And his opponent been through just as many matches as his green Protoss player opponent. He is going to be fighting through this Protoss army. He needs to take all 3 of these games. He can afford to lose 2 though, as his opponent can as well. His name is Valon. Now, you may have noticed during those intros that I did say he needs to take 3 of the games. That does mean it is a best of 5. I know there was a little bit of miscommunication about that last the last series from the semifinals, the round of 4, but I did talk with the tournament organizer this time. I didn't want to have the same thing happen, so now I have clarified this is a best of 5. 100% sure about that, guys. Do not worry, I'm not getting this wrong. But anyways, that does mean we will be seeing a potential of course, up to 5 games. So we're going to have to wait and see. Both of these players we have seen in some of the previous matches that have been casted. And so what we have seen from Bennay is that he generally does not like to go into the super duper late game, even against Zerg, you know, where Protoss players tend to at least go to 2 base, as we can see over here. The Forge Fast Expand going down, meanwhile the spawning pool going down for Valon. But even in this matchup, Bennay tended to go for those 2 base, you know, aggression builds, such as the Blink Stalker build. I think he really did enjoy the 6-gate Blink Stalker build. But yeah, we even see it is in fact a best of 5. But meanwhile, I think Valon, we did end up seeing, I think, just one of his games, in which was a Zerg versus Terran, I believe. And he completely just decimated his opponent in terms of playing as greedily as possible after securing a victory. He played the textbook example, and we're going to have to see if he can pull something like that off again. We do see that he is just kind of waiting to throw down that extra hatchery that he is going to eventually throw down, I suspect. But he's waiting quite a bit and just wants to get those Zerglings out. Doesn't even want to deal with this probe. But with those 2 Zerglings out, he might be able to at least do a little bit of good damage to that probe before he gets to throw down that pylon. There, the pylon almost went down. There, now the pylon goes down. But 2 Zerglings, actually now up to 4 Zerglings and a drone. He will easily be able to take out this pylon before it has a chance to finish. And there's the cancel. Bennay knows it, and he goes ahead and just sacrifices, or saves, I should say, whatever minerals he can from that investment. And the hatchery does, in fact, go down. So it looks like both of these players are playing it pretty normal at this point in time. And we can see that the Nexus for Bennay is finishing up. So he's going to go ahead and transfer over a couple of probes, doing a complete wall-off. A bit interesting, and actually a bit of interesting placement in coming down from Bennay, where you have the Cybernex core being a bit further back, as well as this cannon. I'm actually not entirely sure if the Zerglings up over here at the very top of the forge will actually be attacked by this cannon. We'll have to wait and see if Valon decides to do anything with that. But in the meanwhile, looks like both these players are just going to go ahead and play out that macro game. For now, we do see Valon going for that very, very quick third. I think it was thrown down around 5 minutes or so. So that's definitely going to be a nice play from Valon. We're going to have to wait and see, but hopefully he doesn't get this supply blocked again. Oh my god, he gets supply blocked at 26 of 26. That's pretty terrible. Unfortunately, it seems like there was a bit of lag also in the finals, so I really hope that neither of these players end up experiencing any kind of really sad things going on from that lag, but we'll have to wait and see. Looks like I really love this kind of scouting path from the Zerg player Valon. One thing I would say is that he could actually just be splitting up the Zerglings in different directions rather than having every single one of them go along this big giant move path. Actually, wow, we might actually get the Zealot before the Zealot actually does any damage. Now the Zealot is just barely aware, and he's actually going to start fighting back finally against those Zerglings, but the Zerglings are a little bit cautious about engaging that Zealot at that choke over there. It would be nice if he actually just went for the surround, as I think with 3 Zerglings, he should be able to take out this Zealot, which is now down to basically no shields. But with this 4th Zergling, he might decide to go in. I guess no harm, considering the fact that he's not really intending to transfer over a huge number of drones over here, but this is not the best way to deal with that Zealot. This Zealot's just going to be chilling like, I am indestructible! I am He-Man! You can't do any damage to me. Eventually, I suspect a huge swarm of Zerglings, or just a roach will pop out and you'll be like, nah, you don't have any power. You have no power here, Zealot the Green. Lord of the Ring reference. Hopefully you guys got that. But we do actually see a robotic facility out for Bennay, so that does mean he's not going to be going for that Blink Stalker play that he has been favoring in the past. And actually really interesting that he kind of has a pretty low probe count over in his main. Does decide to transfer quite a few of those over to his natural. You know, a bit of a stylistic choice. Isn't going to affect the matchup too much, but one interesting thing is that he does not have 3 guys on this 4th gas geyser, and you know, I have to question if that's a mistake or not. Oftentimes, I mean, I feel like it's a mistake either way, just because generally you don't want to get this 4th gas geyser unless you're actually going to start mining from it immediately. That just seems like a waste of 75 minerals. But if that wasn't his intent, if it was his intention that he just forgot to put guys on gas, we're going to hopefully see that he just decided not to put guys on gas. I think that'd be a bit of a better situation for him and a better mistake to be making. But, yeah, because if you were expecting to have 3 additional guys mining gas for you, and then you suddenly realize, like, oh my god, where is all my gas? I really should have more. Like, that can be a very frustrating thing to deal with. But we'll end up seeing, looks like for now, he is going to be doing some nice little Warp Prism play. We did see the Observer pop out a little while ago. Where is that Observer? Let's go ahead and take a look at Bennay's vision right now. Looks like it's flying right over the 3rd. He does have a pretty good idea of what's going on in the main. He saw that that lair was building, so he might be able to do a little bit of good damage. A couple of roaches are going to be popping out in just a second, so we're going to have to wait and see if those roaches will be prepared. There are sentries lit up in this War Prism, so we could see some really cool and cute sentry sentry drops over in the main, forcing out any roaches from being able to come in, and then just using that high gateway count that we saw over in Bennay's main. Wow, actually going to be up to I believe 8 gateways. It's always hard to tell the difference between 7 and 8, but there's the force shield on the ram. No units in the what? Valon deciding to toss out the GG, does not care, as this is a best of 5 series. He does not care about it, really even trying to defend against this. Looks like he just wanted to jump into the next game after realizing that he was going to be forced out of his main, and is probably going to lose quite a bit of his tech, but I still think he should have maybe at least tried to fight back a little bit. I think it definitely would have been worth the while, as what do you have to lose, really, other than a little bit of time. But that is going to be the end of game number 1. A little bit anticlimactic, considering we didn't really get to see. I mean, like, take a look at the units lost tab. 4 units lost for Valon, 2 units lost for Bennay. Technically, Valon was ahead. Not for very long, mind you, but still. But anyways, a little bit of anticlimactic ending. But we are going to go into game number 2. I guarantee you, one of the games in this series will be super awesome. It's the finals. It has to be that way. This isn't the GSL. I mean, come on. And even GSL has had great finals recently. So, I'll see you guys in game number 2. Please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's right over here. Twitch TV and Twitter. My handles are FearDriven64. Go watch game number 2.